Greetings to everybody. How are you today? Can you hear me okay? Please let me know how's the audio. Can you hear me okay? So that I know that I'm talking to you and you can hear me. I'll be here to answer some of your questions for the next hour or so. So if you have any questions, please submit them in the commentary box and I will gladly answer your question. From Earth Tone Core, Pande Namo Buddhaya. From Cornell, Kennedy, yes, can hear Ajahn clearly. Mail on meditation. Good morning, Ajahn. Sound and picture are good. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Earth Tone Core, I can hear Pante clearly. Thank you. Ong Apprentice, yes, can hear Luang Po. Thank you. Captain Sangye, can hear clearly Ajahn. See Mai, Grab Ajahn, can hear you very well. From L. Terence Leon, good morning, Pante. Here's a question from Ajahn Suchart Abhijato, Dhamma for the asking. From assistant.ajahn.suchart@gmail.com. Jonathan E. Piscor from Eastern U.S. Question number 1. How should we deal with doubt about karma and the realms? You just have to study the teaching of the Buddha and his noble disciple. The more you study, the more you will be convinced about karma and the realms of existence. If you still have doubt, then you just have to prove it for yourself by meditation. Once you meditate, if you succeed, you will experience the mind and you will see that the mind is different from the body. Then you will see what happens to the mind after the body dies, and your doubt will be dispelled. How should we deal with doubt about what is written in the canon? Same thing, you have to practice the Dhamma to prove it. Once you practice the Dhamma, then your doubt will be dispelled, because what you get from your practice is exactly what the canon says. So to deal with doubt about the Buddha's enlightenment, it's the same thing. You have to practice the Dhamma until you become enlightened. Then you will not have any doubt in the Buddha's enlightenment. Question number 2 from Jonathan E. Piscor. Question number 2. How can we develop our character when everything we could develop is not self? Your character doesn't depend on the existence of a self. Your character is what you say, what you think, what you do. So you don't need to have a self to develop your character. A self is irrelevant. A self or no self is irrelevant to your character. This might sound paradoxical, but if you practice, you'll find out your true self is the knower, the one who knows, not the one who thinks. So you have to switch from the one who thinks to the one who knows. then you will discover your true self. Then you will see that you can still develop your character. From any lump, Sadhu. From Tan Sin Tat, Sadhu. Question number 3 from Jonathan E. Piscor. How should we as Buddhists deal with people who are aggressive, offensive, or just trying to cause trouble? If we don't respond, the person could harm us or others more. If you have to respond, you should respond with loving kindness, or compassion, or equanimity. If you find that by responding makes things worse, then it's better to remain non-responsive. Because the goal is to make things better, to make things peaceful and happy. If we cannot do this, then we just have to remain still and let things take its own course. Sometimes you have to look at people and things like you look at the weather. If you cannot stop the sun from rising, then you just let the sun rise. That's about it. Then you will not be hurt. Your mind will be peaceful and calm. From Gavin Deepong, hello Ajahn. When practicing mindfulness and thought arise, is it helpful to be able to identify if the thought is due to sanya or sankhara? No, you don't need to know what the thought, where the thought comes from. All you have to do is to stop. Because the more you think, you will generate more thoughts, and you will not be, your mind will not be calm this way. The only way to make your mind calm is to stop thinking. Can you explain the relationship between sanya and sankhara and how to differentiate them? Thank you. Sanya is memory. See? When you see something, you remember. So you can call this perception also. When you see a person, you use memory to find out who he is or who she is. This is sanya or perception. You have to rely on the information you have concerning that person to be able to identify that person. Then you will know that person is good or bad or neutral. If you don't know about that person, you might not know whether it's good or bad or neutral. And sankhara is your thought, how you would react to the person you see. Should I greet him, or should I run away from him or her, for instance? This is sankhara. So sanya comes first before sankhara. From Adeline Chin, Sukihontu Ajahn. Hi Adeline, how are you? How's Philip? Is he okay? How's your children? From Colonel Kennedy, dear Ajahn, what or how is the wiseful, specific way to do dana? You have to think of the benefit that arise from your giving, what the person who received the dana gets from you. This is the way to do dana. You want to make your charity worthwhile, beneficial to the receiver. Because when you do something and the receiver felt happy, then it will make you feel good and happy also. From Emith Kinney, good morning, Ajahn. Have a question. If I break a precept, for example, telling a lie, on an impulse or hurtful speech. How to deal with it after breaking the precept? What is the wise response to it? Well, one way is to punish yourself, like find yourself $1 every time you lie or say hurtful speech, and then give this money to charity. This will then make you more mindful before you say or do anything. It's like when you drive, if you break the law, you can be fined for what you from what you did. Then it will remind you to be careful the next time. So this is one way of dealing with breaking the moral precept. It's like breaking the traffic law. You have to find yourself, punish yourself by taking money away from you and give it to charity. This is a wise response. Somehow, if you don't punish yourself, then you might not feel it's important to be mindful the next time. But every time you do something and you have to pay for it, then it will make you becoming more mindful the next time. Then eventually you will not break the precept. From C.I. May, she may, dear Ajahn, in the past when I first started practicing and attending 10-day or 5-day meditation retreats, after the retreat I will be able to read people's mind or see things happening in the mind that is happening outside, like a bus is arriving. When I am inside a mall, however, this phenomenon only happens when it is vegetarian meditation retreat. Thus having such psychic powers means that the retreat has been fruitful, sadhu, and thank you. You can say it's fruitful, but it's not fruitful in the beneficial way, because psychic power doesn't help your mind to get rid of the mental suffering, the dukkha in the mind. Psychic power is just like any other special ability. It cannot help you get rid of your dukkha. So it's better not to have them. But if you should have them, then you should ignore them. Don't bother with them. What you need for meditation retreat is equanimity. You need to enter into jhana and remain still for a long, long time. Then your mind will be strong and be able to resist your cravings and your desire when you use anicca, dukkha, anatta to get rid of your desire, your cravings. Another question from assistant.ajahn@gmail.com from Deborah Jonas. Hello from Toronto. Is it okay to buy a forest that the previous owner used as a hunting camp? I see no reason why you should, if it is conducive to your meditation development. You have to look at the conditions, whether it's good, it's peaceful and calm, and has no problem for you. What they used previously, that's not your concern. From Phoenix Lee, good afternoon, Pante. Question number 1. I keep blanking during meditation. What can I do to overcome this? You should get up and do walking meditation first. Your mindfulness is not strong enough. So when you lose mindfulness, you go blank. So maybe it's better for you to get up and do walking meditation until you have stronger mindfulness. and then you can come back and meditate. When you meditate, you must use something to focus your mind on, either your breath or reciting a mantra. Don't just sit there and do nothing. This is not meditation. Buddhist meditation is mindfulness meditation. You have to be mindful of an object, such as your breath or the mantra. Or if you like, you can use the 32 parts of the body also. Question number 2. Can I keep reciting Buddha when I'm not in sitting meditation, watching plays or walking or waiting in Anjali? Thank you. Yes, you can use Buddha all the time. It's the best way of developing mindfulness when you're not sitting. Just recite Buddha from the time you get up. As soon as you open up your eyes, start Buddha. And then you can continue on doing what you have to do. Then you will have mindfulness all day long. When you sit, you'll find that you can sit easy, comfortably, and your mind can become peaceful and calm very, very quickly. From Sean Kerr, dear Ajahn, should we strive to have mastery over each of the first 4 jhanas, or should we just try to move through them to get to the 4th jhana as quickly as possible? Yes, the fourth jhanas will move gradually from 1st to 4th when you concentrate on your meditation object. So what you should do is just focus on your meditation object, and then the jhanas will come naturally. Sometimes they come very quickly from 1 to 4, like falling from a high place. Sometimes they come step by step. The mind becomes calmer at each step of the jhana. Sometimes it can come very quickly from 1st to 4th jhana, like falling from a high place. So whichever it happens doesn't matter. What is important is to be mindful of your meditation object. Focus your meditation object only, and disregard everything that appears, even the different jhanas. Don't get into any discussion what type of jhana you're in and so forth. Just keep focusing on your meditation object only. Solely watch your meditation object, and then your mind will proceed from the 1st to the 4th jhana automatically. Adeline Chin, yes, we are good, thank you. You still can sit in the lotus position. Doesn't matter. You sit on the chair or do walking meditation. The more important thing is not the sitting position, but to stop your mind from thinking. If you can stop your mind from thinking, why not in lotus position? It's better than to be in a lotus position and keep thinking. From Eddie Lam, brilliant idea, Sadhu. From Lily Siswanto, Wandami Ajahn, good morning, greetings from LA. I don't have particular question today, just tune in to listen. I just need to be mindful every moment, and have not been able to do so because of the life problem I am dealing with now. During the meditation, 30% of the time I can reach calmness and mindfulness, but in the everyday activity it is still hard to do. That's right, life of a householder is not conducive to the practice of meditation. That's why people choose the life of ordained, of a monk or of a nun. So they don't have to deal with the household problem. Then they can concentrate on their mindfulness more. From Adelaide, Bethany. Hi Adelaide, how are you? Are you good? Are you still at Wat Pavantat? Are you still meditating? Here's some useful links from Adelaide. They were related to Ajahn advices, books of biography and Patipada. I think this refers to the person who has doubt in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. You read books by the meditation masters like Ajahn Mahabua. It can help get rid of your doubt. If it doesn't yet, then the best thing for you to do is to meditate, to practice the Dhamma. Then eventually you will become enlightened. From Nobiti, Namaskar Ajahn, good morning from Medan, Indonesia. Good morning, how are you? From Sangharsh Campbell, Pandami Bhante, I have a question. If someone wants to become a Buddhist monk and learn Dhamma from respected senior monk and want to do work for Dhamma till last breath, but he can't find teacher, please help. Well, there are many monks, many teachers, monks in Thailand. Just search for the forest meditation tradition, monks, and you'll probably find lots of names, lots of good teachers that you can go and study with. From you on meditation, glad to see Tan Ajahn in live Q&A session too. Wish you good health. Thank you. May Sadhu, 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 Ajahn for the explanation. Yes, I told the mind that it is not useful to read other people's mind, and the mind suddenly cannot read minds anymore. Very good. Don't get lost on your path. The psychic power is not the path, it's a distraction, and it can lead you to more rebirth. From Grave Aldrich. Thank you, Ajahn, for your advice, especially ignoring everything during Pavana and focusing only on meditation object. It helps a lot with equanimity. The kilesa come up a lot and muddle the mind, but I keep trying. Yes. Just keep trying and eventually you will succeed. We all need to keep pushing yourself on the Dhamma practice. But you have to take the middle path also, not too hard and not too soft on yourself. If you push too hard on yourself, you can become agitated. If you're too soft on yourself, you might not move forward. So you have to find the right amount of practice for you. From Pauline Soon, Sadhu, 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 dear Ajahn. From C. May, dear Ajahn is having a boss who likes to do more and more projects and keep giving staff and me more and more projects, work to do. Someone who is not helpful for the spiritual practice. If spiritual practice is my priority, Sadhu and thank you. If you want to advance in your spiritual path, then you have to find a teacher who pushes you to meditate, to practice Dhamma, not to work on worldly projects, because worldly projects cannot advance you in your spiritual path. From Kema Jenny, good afternoon, Long Paul. How are you? Nice to hear from you again. From I.E. Namaskar, thank you. From Adelaide, the Bethany. Yes, Ajahn, I am meditating. Lot movement in Wat Yannasangwararam with building of the JD. Okay, just don't get involved. Try to extract yourself from external activities. Try to seek seclusion on your walking path, sitting meditation. This is your real work, is to meditate, to develop Dhamma through Dhamma practice, not building projects. Building projects are for other people. It's not for someone who still needs to practice the Dhamma. From Sean Kerr, thank you Ajahn for answering my question. Your advice is very helpful. From Somiko, Sukiho to Ajahn, kindly please explain why the devas can interfere our life, like weather, bringing rain, etc. As according to the sutta, if people of the world become more evil, the devas will interfere our lives. I don't think so. I don't think deva can interfere with our life by causing the weather to be good or bad. This is just a belief, or maybe on a special, exceptional case. But normally, deva, they are just like you and me. They are still under the law of karma, and they still have to deal with the consequence of their karma. So they have no time to come and deal with other people. So don't worry about the devas. You should worry more with your defilements, because the defilement is the one who really causing you a lot of problems, not anything else. Deal with your defilements, your greed, hatred, and delusion. Get rid of them. Once you get rid of your defilements, then there will be no trouble or problems for you to solve anymore. You will be in peace and happiness. From Paul Ling Soon, how do we know after death we rebirth as human or animal or become ghost? You meditate and you will know. You'll find what type of mind you have. Whether your mind is a deva mind, or animal mind, or hungry ghost mind, you'll see it in yourself, in your mind itself. So keep looking at your mind, and then you'll know what type of rebirth you will have. From Earth Tone Core, I still practicing Dhamma, entry-level chanting, meditation, and try to apply Dhamma on my daily life. Previously, while I do daily work like cleaning, I will feel lazy and worry. I clean the environment, but my mind becomes dirty. After observe and listen to Bhante sharing, I start to feel release while doing daily job. Happy to hear that. Keep practicing, keep being mindful, then you'll find that doing anything is not difficult at all. Because you think you are doing both. You're doing the physical work along with doing your mental work. So then your physical work will complement your mental work. You will feel that doing the physical work can force you to do your mental work. And you will appreciate doing any kind of work if you do it mindfully. Because you'll find that your mind will be empty, calm, peaceful, and happy while doing anything. From Elvin Lee Wai-Peng, good morning Ajahn, how are you? Good to hear from you again, Elvin. Fung Siu Tong, afternoon Ajahn. ST here, okay, just to say hi. Thanks for organizing this session and glad that I can catch it. Very good. Glad to hear that. From Amit Kini, thank you for answering my question, Ajahn. I have one more question. Some Ajahns have talked about meditating on sounds and concentrate on listening to more and more subtle sounds. Is there any mention of this in the suttas? And do you think this is a useful practice? I really don't know. I haven't heard anything about using sound because as far as I understand, sound is a distraction, not something that you will unify your mind. So the Buddha never taught using sound as your meditation object. And in the 40 objects of meditation called the 40 Kammathanas, there are no sounds in them. So I would dismiss them as another thing that you have to prove for yourself, I guess. If you want to find out whether it is good for you or not, you can try it. There is nothing to stop you from trying anything if you want to try it, to find out for yourself. But for me, I don't see the need to. Kamandale Dibetani, Tanajan, it is very seducing because my great preachers come for Bintabat, meal and in Uposatha hall. It is blessing to lead them, inspiring to be in the presence. It is sustaining in my practice. Okay, good. If it helps you in your practice, then do it. Anything that can help you advance in your practice, then it is okay. Reply to polling soon. I will try in my meditation. Okay. Ananda T. Satu. Kema Jenny. I am as busy as can be, with family commitments which seem to come one after another. Would be great blessing to get back to my old time, when conditions were in favor towards my spiritual endeavor. You cannot get there by wishful thinking. If you want to get there, you have to make planning and then stick to the plan. From Joyce Ui, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Dean Swan, thank you Ajahn for sharing your time and energy, Ajahn. I realize that there are thoughts, actions that are food for the mental formation. As with eating food, it maintains the body. On a daily basis, there are basic tasks, and I keep minimum interaction with people. Can Ajahn advise how can I reduce feeling the mental formation, and what action I can do as I am ready to go all the way? You can reduce your mental formation by either reciting a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. If you keep reciting your mantra, then you cannot think about other things. Another method is to focus on what you do and just watch what you do. Don't let your mind stray away from what you do. Then you will not be able to do any kind of thinking except observing what you do. So use mindfulness of body, or use mindfulness of a mantra. Then you can reduce the amount of formation, mental formation, and eventually stop it completely from time to time. You cannot stop your mental formation all the time, but you can direct your mental formation in a direction that will be fruitful, be enlightening to you. From Earth Tone Core, thanks Bante, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Lisa Wu, hi Ajahn. Just to pay respect to you and say good morning. Good morning to you. Glad to hear from you. Let me take a drink first. From NG Kusalo. Hi, how are you? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. From Somiko, Ajahn, please explain jhana without fruits. Also, was Bodhisattva at the time when Buddha Kassapa have second fruit or one fruit or one returner at Tusita heaven? Sadhu. But jhana doesn't produce fruit. See. Jhana is still considered to be path, the path. No, it's not producing any fruit, like becoming a Sotapanna or an Arahant. In order to achieve the fruit, you have to develop vipassana. You have to see the nature of things as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. In order to get rid of your cravings, your desire, your attachment. Then once you can do this, then you will then be able to get to the fruit of your practice. As far as Bodhisattva and Buddha Kassapa, I have no knowledge, so I cannot give you the answer. From Ayi, Tanajan, what I have to focus when I do sitting meditation, the mantra or the breath? Thank you. It's up to you. If you can focus on your breath, then you can just focus on your breath. Or if you cannot focus on your breath and you can focus on your mantra, then you can use the mantra. Some people use both together, like watching the breath and reciting the mantra in tandem. Like breathing in, you recite Bhut, breathing out, you say To. This is also possible. So there are three ways of doing it. Just focus on your breath alone, just reciting the mantra alone, or use the mantra with the breath. From Chin Li Ching, Hi Ajahn, what's the characteristics of Brahma realm? To be born there. The Brahma realm is the realm where people has attained to the jhanas. See? The 8 jhanas. The first 4 jhana is called the Rupa jhana. If you can develop Rupa jhana, then you will be born as a Rupa Brahma. And if you can develop the Arupa jhana, then you will be reborn as a Arupa Brahma. From Michael Saw, Sadhu. From Chayam Lama Karun, Sadhu. From Czech Lincoln, good morning Tanajan. Greetings from Vancouver. No question today. Just want to pay my respect to you. Thank you. Are you keeping the precept today? Are you mindful all the time? Try to stop your unnecessary thoughts. Think only what you have to think. Consider your thought like money. You want to save your money. You don't want to spend your money recklessly. So you don't want to think recklessly. You want to use your thought very sparingly. Use only when you have to. Think of your thought as like money. Then you don't want to spend money on useless things. You only want to use it on something beneficial. If you want to think of the 32 parts of the body. Think of anicca, aging, sickness and death. Think of anatta. Everything is like the weather. This is the kind of thought you should be thinking about. If not, then you should just stop your thought. Don't think about getting rich. Don't think about where am I going to go for my holiday. These are useless thoughts. They only lead you to more rebirth. From Chayam Nama Karun, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Po Ling Soon, When is best and comfortable time for meditation? Now is the best time to meditate. Every time you ask yourself when, just say now, do it now. It doesn't matter whether it's comfortable or not. The more you meditate, then eventually the more comfortable it will become. When you first start, it's like learning something new. You will find not comfortable to do it. But after you keeping doing it for a while, then it will become comfortable. So do it now, right now. Just close your eyes and watch your breath. Iva sis voyo sadhu ya chanicha sadhu. From Nabiti, Anumodana Ajahn, I am good and still practicing meditation. We hope always hearing Dhamma from Ajahn. From Pauline Soon, I like to enjoy with listening the song and music. It makes me happy. Is it business desire? And will it create dukkha? Yes, because sooner or later you will not be able to listen to music. Like you're sick, or when there are no music for you to listen to, or the music that you keep listening become boring to you, then you will get dukkha. So it's better not to rely on music to make you happy. Better rely on meditation to make you happy. From Ayi, thank you for your answer, Ajahn. From Lisa Wu, Ajahn, in fourth jhana, 1 and 10 Ubekha, feeling is just neutral, calm, quiet, bright and peaceful. Can you explain what is the happiness about? It's the happiness that having Ubekha is another kind of happiness. It's the happiness that accompanies emptiness. How to understand the happiness? Thanks in advance. You cannot understand this kind of happiness. You have to experience it. So you have to practice mindfulness until you get to the fourth jhana. Then you'll find out this type of happiness that excels all other type of happiness. From C. May, dear Ajahn, in a meditation retreat, I saw a terrible event that happened in past life, and at that time I made a vow to revenge for the event. And in this life, I was born to a family member who is related to that vow, and I did not like this family member. When I was young, all the way till the spiritual path opened in this life, and I have forgiven this person or other people involved. But I have no conditions to pursue the spiritual practice full time, because I have to work and take care of family, likely due to the terrible vow. What can I do in this lifetime to be able to neutralize the bad karma of the vow and be able to stay in a monastery to practice in this lifetime or next lifetime? Well, you can divide your time up. See, you can use some of your time for meditation practice. You don't have to take care of your family 24 hours a day or 7 days a week. Try to set up a certain kind of schedule. Say you can then have day off for your spiritual endeavor. You don't have to work 7 days a week for your family. Or maybe you can set up a few days a month for your own spiritual practice. Tell them that you have to go and stay in the monastery to develop your mind, for instance. If you really try, you can arrange it. You can make arrangements for you to have the time to go meditate and practice. So this is something that you should do in this lifetime, at least, so that you can then continue on later in your next life. Or maybe you can advance in this lifetime because eventually maybe your obligation to your family might disappear, and you will be free to do anything you want to do. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Maybe all of your family members die or something. Then you'll be all alone. So right now, just prepare yourself by doing the practice as much as possible. And set up a certain amount of time for your practice. If you say you don't have time, this is just your defilement trying to prevent you from doing the practice. I think we all have time to do some practice. If not all the time, we should at least be able to get some time to do the practice if we are determined to do it. So you need to have the determination to do the practice, and then find the time for it. From Dylan Elvis, Sadhu Sadhu Bante. In one of your previous sessions, you mentioned that elements of dependent origination always exist, and they are not subjected to birth nor death. But according to explanation on ultimate truth, what truly exists are citta, sikha, rupa, and nibbana. Could you clarify the above, please? I'm not so sure what you want me to explain. It's pretty clear in itself. So I cannot say anything more. I cannot add anything more to it. From Julian Teo, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Talam Latno. From Christian Tan, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Sento Fiandi, Namo Buddhaya Pante. From Chin Li Ching, Hi Ajahn. How often do we have to see Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta to reach the fruit of practice? All the time. Every time you see anything, hear anything, you have to see them as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Fruit is Magga or Phala. Fruit is Phala. Seeing Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta is Magga. So you first have to develop Magga by seeing everything as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Once you see everything as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, then you will let go. You will stop it. You will let go of your attachment. When you have let go of your attachment, then you get the fruit. You have release from suffering. You are released from suffering, from dukkha. Every moment, as we have to remind the mind, that's right. Every moment, until it becomes automatic. So when you see everything as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, your desire cannot come up. Your desire will come up when you don't see anicca, dukkha, anatta. From Czech Ling Tan, yes Ajahn, we are keeping the 8 precepts today. And now the great analogy Ajahn, using the thoughts very carefully, and only when we have to, like using money. Perhaps one day there will be a book of all Ajahns' creative and amazing analogy. Sadhu. From Sadishi, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Po Ling Soon, sometime as man we will sudden watching the shape of female, and it will rise our sex drive. Is this kind act will result as karma? Yes, because it will push you to have more sex. The more you see female of body and you see that it is good linking, then you will have sex drive coming up all the time. So you have to reverse this process. Every time you see a female, think of the female corpse. Think of the inner parts of the body, inside the body, such as the lung, the kidney, the heart, the intestines, for instance, or the skeleton of the female body. When you see this, then you can reverse your process. You can stop your sex drive. Then you can stop your karma. From Phoebe saying, "Good morning, dear Venerable Ajahn. I hope you will be available to meet with us on Zoom on Tuesday. My question is, if we achieve sati when focusing on Buddha, should all other thoughts and phenomena disappear? Or would they still be there in the back? In the background, thank you. When you first starting using Buddha, you will be competing with your thoughts and phenomena. But as your Buddha becomes stronger and stronger and more continuous, then eventually all your thoughts and phenomena will disappear. Then your mind will become empty and enter into jhana, into the fourth jhana. But when you're first starting, you will still have thoughts and other phenomena arising. What you should do is to ignore them, don't pay attention to them. Just keep focusing on your mantra alone. You have to be competing with them when you first started. But as you persist on continuing on with your Buddha, then eventually the thoughts and phenomena will disappear. From Henry Chitra, Sadhu. From Gek Yenso, good afternoon, Ajahn. My legs start to feel pain and not comfortable. After meditating for an hour, I am still learning to overcome ignoring this problem. Just keep reciting a mantra. Don't pay attention to your legs. Leave it alone. Then it will not bother your mind. Keep reciting Buddha, Buddha, or keep chanting Iti Piso, Bhagava, Araham, Samma, Sambuddho. Just keep chanting for a while. Then your mind will be calm and peaceful and will not be disturbed by the pain of the legs. From Sime, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu Ajahn for your answer and encouragement. Deepest gratitude to Ajahn for this session. You're welcome. We have about 6 more minutes left for this session. So if you have any questions, you can still send them in now. But when we reach the 1 hour mark, I have to ask you to stop sending in the questions. Another question from assistant.ajahn@gmail.com from Selvi Kumar. Is giving money or buying things for our parents considered as doing dana? Yes, you should do that. The Buddha said in the Makkala Sutta, look after your parents, make them happy. Look after them. It's dana. You can give dana to anybody. You can give money to anybody and it will be dana. You can give it to the temple, give it to the schools, give it to the hospital, give it to the old people, give to the needy people. These are all considered to be dana or charity. It will make you feel happy, make you feel good. From Chin Li Ching, a few days ago, I saw aversion thought arise due to someone not sharing her food. When I saw that, I see how suffering arises, as everything is mind-made. I was so relieved after that. Thank you, Ajahn. Yes, I think you have become partially enlightened. You can see dukkha arising in your mind from your desire, and you can see the cessation of dukkha when you have mindfulness and wisdom. Meaning you are seeing the Four Noble Truths. You should see the Four Noble Truths like this all the time. Every time you see something and when you feel bad, then you have to be mindful and use wisdom to stop your feeling bad. Then you don't need to do anything to anybody or anything. You just treat your mind properly. stop your mind from creating dukkha. Violin Elvis, Sadhu Pande, could you explain the relationship between 12 elements of dependent origination and 4 elements mentioned in Ultimate Truth? I think the 4 elements in the Ultimate Truth and the dependent origination are different. The 4 elements we mentioned are the water element, the earth element, the fire element, and the wind element. These are the basic building blocks of the physical world. Everything in some forms of the 4 elements. While dependent origination deals with the working of the mind, starting from Avijja. Avijja is the one that instigates the mind to think, to go after things in this world by sending the consciousness to attach to a body. Once it's attached to the body, then it can connect to the sensual organs and the sensual objects, and then it can get feeling from the contact between the sensual organs and the sensual objects. Once it has feeling, then it has desire and attachment, and then keep repeating the process until rebirth, until the next birth. So this is dependent origination. It details the working of the mind, while the 4 element is the basic building block of the physical world. From Mickey LKF, Dear Ajahn, recently when I am done with meditation and open my eyes after an hour, I feel like I do not know what has happened. I usually start with observing in and out breathing at the tip of my nose. If you don't know what's happening, then you probably have fallen asleep. You have lost your mindfulness. You should be always awake when you meditate. You should be always observing your breath and know everything that happens to the mind when you meditate. If you don't know anything, it means you have lost your mindfulness. So maybe it's better for you to do walking meditation first, to develop more mindfulness before you can sit down and meditate fruitfully. Here's another question from assistant.ajahn@gmail.com from Jason L., USA. Dear Ajahn, would you please accept me to be a monk under your guidance at your monastery? Please feel free to ask me anything. Unfortunately, I'm not there, but at the monastery here. I only can deal with people who come and practice. But as far as being monk, you have to go through the process. Now you have to talk to the abbot of this monastery. I'm not the abbot, so I cannot say that you can stay here permanently or not. But you are welcome to come and practice on a temporary basis first. And then after that, you can work out some plan to enable you to stay permanently. There's a path to it, but it takes some time to do. So the first thing is, if you want to come here, yes, you can come, and we are happy to receive everybody who wants to come and practice, but on a temporary basis, like for 2 weeks, and then maybe extend for another 2 weeks as we go along. And as for the long-term plan, we have to work it out with the abbot. I hope this is clear enough for you. Okay, we have reached the 1 hour mark. So if you haven't yet typed any question, please don't send them in. We have to stop this meeting pretty soon. But if you are still typing the question, please go ahead and send them in when you finish typing. From Lisa Wu, thank you Ajahn for the Dhamma talk. From Chin Li Ching, my parents donated money for purchase of land for Sangha. What are the benefits as I want to tell them and encourage them more? Well, the benefit to themselves is that they will become devas. They will go to heaven after they die. If they also keep the precepts. If they don't keep the precept and just do dana, then they will not yet be able to go to heaven when they die. So if they will just benefit from giving dana by having enough to make them happy, whether they are animal or human. But for them to go to heaven, they have to keep the precepts and give dana. As for the Sangha, as for Buddhism, they can help to support Buddhism to exist longer in this world. From Vibowo Kayono Suki Hotu Bante, there was a time when Buddha was teaching at labor realms. Question is it Pavanga Chitta, which means the Deva, and teaching them? Thank you, Bhante. Yes, it's the Chitta of the mind that has special psychic power that can connect with the spiritual beings. It's not the physical body that goes up to heaven. The physical body cannot go to heaven. It's only the spiritual being that can go to heaven or hell. From Chin Li Ching, thank you Ajahn. Sometimes many teachers start coming and it's not easy. Thank you, nobody told me that about what you said just now, but no matter what, I will continue practicing. Nothing is more important. From Leah Chan, Ajahn Suchart, Sukihotu, may I know which meditation suit me? Anapanasati, Metta, Vipassana, mindfulness to the body, or keep on chanting Buddha. My mind can calm down during meditation. Keep on thinking and thinking. Thanks Ajahn. Well, you have to first start with developing mindfulness. When you're not sitting in meditation, you should either be mindful of your body, or you can keep reciting Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. And once you have strong enough mindfulness, when you sit, then you can use anapanasati, focus on your breath. Metta is for you to use when you are angry with someone, and somebody makes you angry, then you should use metta to get rid of your anger. So this is basically the meditation objects of mindfulness that you have to develop before you can meditate successfully. From Vibowo Kayono, dear Ajahn, when we have problems at work and we are meditating, I can't get rid of those thinking. I try to relax, let go of it, and notice breathing in and out, but still unable to get away. What should I do? Thank you. You can use vipassana by looking at the work that you do as being impermanent. That sooner or later you're gonna have to lose that work anyway. So what you know is impermanent, and it is anatta. You cannot always control your work. So then you just leave it alone. See, so you have to look at your work as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you see that, then you can let go of your attachment to your work and come back and meditate. From Hilan Lim, Sadhu Ajahn for the Dhamma sharing. May Ajahn be healthy, well, and happy. Well, that's about all of the questions. Here's one more from Chet Ling Tan. Thank you so much, Ajahn, for your beautiful Dhamma. I was preparing to go to bed already, but after the Q&A session, I feel a surge of energy and so much inspiration. I think I will go back to meditation. Yes, do some more meditation until you fall asleep. Try to make use of your time as much as possible in the development of meditation. Okay, thank you everybody for joining this meeting today. I hope that you have learned and gained something from this discussion. And if you want to ask any more questions, please wait for the next meeting. In the meantime, please keep on practicing, be mindful, and be happy, be safe. Thank you very much and goodbye.